So today we are going to talk about inauspicious or Marak planets. Right? What do you mean by inauspicious or Marak planets who will create challenges in your life? Yeah? So there are auspicious planets and there are Marak or inauspicious planets who will create some kind of challenges in your life, and we'll find it out. Okay, so you have two kundlis on the screen. You have one at the top and one at the bottom. Yeah? We covered the left hand portion where 1 to 12 signs are written and their lords are also written. Yeah? So the first rule that we have to consider is lord of second and seventh house, right? So in simple words, Marak planets or inauspicious planets are lord of second and seventh house. Yeah? And they are in turn called as Marakesh. Yeah? So if I take a look at the first Kundli and I mark the second house, right? So this is my first, second is this, right? So if we do the counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? I will write second and seventh house. Similarly, in the bottom kundli, I will write first just so that you can remember like how we are starting the counting. After first, in the anti-clockwise direction, first and second house, and similarly, this is the seventh house, right? So if you take a look in the first kundli, second house has sign 2 written against it, right? And seventh house has 7 written against it. So please make a note that here I am talking about signs, right? So we are not writing the houses which are in Roman letters. So second and seventh house. If we look at the left hand side table, second and seventh house both are ruled by Venus. Okay. So lordship for both the houses is Venus, and therefore Venus can be considered as Marakesh in the first kundli. There are other rules as well, which we'll be covering in detail at a later point of time, but this is the first and foremost rule that we are going to consider. Yeah. In the bottom kundli, similarly, if we take a look at Lord of second and seventh house, right? So second house has, let me write second, has written 8 against it. And similarly, if I go to seventh house, it has 1 written against it. Okay. So if we go again to the left hand side table, 8 and 1, if we take a look, the Marakesh in both these cases, lordship is Mars. Okay. So this is a simple rule to find out who are the Marakesh planets, right? There are a couple more things to consider is that the Marakesh planet should not be debilitated, afflicted, yeah, or kind of, be in a condition where its effect is getting amplified. In case, let's say in the first kundli, if Venus is in such a position where its effect are getting amplified, then it may prove detrimental to the overall kundli. Yeah. Similarly, if we take a look at the bottom kundli, the Marakesh is Mars. Okay, depending on the placement, depending on its condition, whether it is debilicated, is getting aspected by some planet, you will have to consider whether it is it is going to prove detrimental or not. Okay, so condition, simple condition we should have is Marrakesh should not be afflicted by any malefic planet, okay, especially by aspect, conjunction, or housewise placement. Okay. We also have natural Maraka planet as Saturn, Rahu, Mars, Ketu. Yeah? So these are the four planets which are considered as natural Marak planet. So if they are in a kind of they are debilitated in your Kundli, and as well as if they are Maraka, then it is going to prove very detrimental. Yeah. So we just mark it. So Saturn, Mars, okay, Rahu and Ketu. Rahu and Ketu are shadow planets, so we'll write it separately. You have three more planets: Neptune, Pluto, Uranus. So those are not being considered, but natural Maraka planet are Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, and Mars. Okay. There are couple more things to note down. Yeah, when we are talking about Maraka planets, okay, result may be moderate to severe depending on a lot of factors, right? So those factors are relationship of Maraka planet with ascendant lord, right? So if you are talking about Venus here, okay, and ascendant lord is in this Kundli, ascendant lord is Mars, because in first house we have Lagna, and it is written 1. So Aries and Mars is ascendant sign here. Similarly, in the seventh house, in the first house of the second Kundli, it is written as 7. Yeah. So ascendant lord is Venus here. So if you take a look at these two Kundlis, it is kind of Venus relationship with Mars is what you will have to see, and in the second Kundli, Mars relationship with Venus is what you have to see. So although Mars is debilitated Maraka planet, uh, uh, it's not debilitated, that is a wrong word to say. Maraka planet, as per the theory of lordship of second and seventh house, its relationship with the ascendant lord has to be seen. Okay. The other conditions, so I will write down the conditions basically. Okay. So first condition is relationship with ascendant lord. Okay. Ascendant lord in this case is Mars. In this case is Venus. Okay. The second is aspect on Maraka Lord, okay, by any benefic planet, right? So if there is a natural benefic planet who has a aspect over, let's say, the Maraka Lord, okay, then the effect will be moderate or negligible depending on the overall Kundli. Okay, depending on the dasa of the planet also. Suppose if a person is going through Mahadasa and planet is not Maraka, let's suppose Yoga Karak, okay, and Marak planet has Antardasa, then it will not cause a harm. So if we write it down here, the second is aspect or drishti. Okay, so first is lordship, second is aspect. Okay, who has aspect? So Jupiter aspect over a Maraka planet. Okay, third is Mahadasa and Antardasa. Mahadasha, Antardasa. These things we'll be covering in detail. So the third piece is, let's suppose a benefic planet in the Kundli. Let's suppose Jupiter is the benefic planet, or Sun is the benefic planet, and there is a Maraka like Venus. Okay, in those cases, the effect will not be detrimental. Yeah, not be heavy basically. Yeah, we also have to take a look at, let's say, Navamsha condition. Okay, We'll be covering it in detail later. So I'm just writing Navamsha or D9 chart. Okay. And Maraka planet in Navamsha. Okay. So if in the Maraka planet is positioned well, then the effect might be lessened. Okay. Also, if Maraka planet is retrograde, the effect will be reverse. Okay. And we also have to take a look at whether the Maraka planet is in 6th, 8th position. In Kendra, Kendra houses are 1, 4, 7, 10. Okay. Similarly, here Kendra houses are 1, okay, 4, 7, and 10. These are the houses are fixed. Please always keep in mind. So 1, 4, 7, and 10, these are the Kendra. And then there are trine houses. Okay. Trine houses are what? If you take a look at, so trine houses are house number 5. Okay. House number 5, house number 9, and house number 11. Okay. These are trine houses. In both the Kundlis, I'll just mark it. Okay. So you have 5, you have 9, and you have 11. Okay. So let me write it down. So the fifth condition may be to take a look at, let's say, Navamsha we have already done. So fifth condition is more like seeing whether Maraka planet is in 6th or 8th position, or Kendra, or Trikon, or trine basically. Okay. So all these conditions will have to be seen to figure out how much impact a Maraka planet is going to have. Next we'll be covering for, let's suppose, for Aries ascendant. So what do I mean by Aries ascendant? So this is a Aries ascendant. So the first Kundli that you see is Aries ascendant. So 1 is written here, right? So 1 means Aries. This is Lagna. Okay. First is Aries ascendant. The second Kundli that I have on my screen right now is 7, right? So it is Libra ascendant. Yeah. So basis that, so different ascendants, we will try to figure out who will be the Marrakesh. Okay, as per the natural houses. We'll not go into planetary details and all. We'll just figure out directly. Let's suppose if it is 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, we'll just figure out who are going to be the Marrakesh signs. Okay. Overall, we'll be covering in detail. Thank you for watching. Do like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment if you want to understand more about Kundli, or if you want to generate a Kundli. Please comment and drop a message. Okay. Thank you.